All right, y'all, how y'all doing? Happy Monday. Today is Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day. Yeah, I got some Walmart burgers. I put them under the broiler. Had some chips. Didn't have no hot dogs, so no hot dogs, no baked beans, and all that kind of stuff. But we got burgers, American cheese, pepper jack cheese, Kobe jack cheese. I got Ruffles, the smoky barbecue Ruffles, and I got the new Carolina barbecue or whatever it is, Pringles. But yeah, let's go and get into this video. The burger shrunk, as you can see, so the meat to bread ratio is pitiful, but hey, lesson learned, I tell you that much. Burgers are juicy though, obviously. I didn't go overboard with seasoning it. I really just kept it mostly simple. I just did like crushed black pepper, pink salt, Kinder's all-purpose season. I use a little bit of that. Oh, barbecue sauce and mayo. That's really all I need. I would have put pickles on there, but we ain't had no pickles, so. But the smokehouse barbecue Ruffles is one of their best flavors. Have any of y'all ever had the Bimbo brand buns? That's what these are. My mom started buying them for a reason. I don't know why. But when I like if I want to make hamburgers or something, for those of y'all who know, y'all know what buns I get. I get the Nature's Own. That's my brand right there when it comes to them hamburger buns, boy. And hot dog buns too. The hot dog buns be fire. I get the brioche or I get the butter buns. Oh yeah. American cheese was made for burgers, I'll tell you that much. And at least my family. I don't know about other people's families, but whenever my people barbecue, they never toast the buns for the hamburgers. You just take them straight out the pack and eat them. Slap a little mayo, whatever on them. The burger. Sometimes they do cheese. A lot of times, if I remember, they really don't. But I want to know, when are we going to finally admit that Pringles is better than Lay's? I'm not talking about wavy Lay's or kettle cooked, right? Because the texture is better. I'm talking about flimsy chip versus flimsy chip. And I love Lay's too, but I just think that Pringles is better, more so because of their flavors and stuff, not really so much the chip itself, right? Let's go in for this floppy pepper jack bun burger. Man, I ain't gonna lie, I was so tired today, man. Normally I don't sleep till like 10, going on 11 in the morning. I'd be woke by then. Even if I might still be like in the bed lounging around, but I'm not asleep. I don't sleep. But finally made myself get up and everything, you know. This burger not hitting like the American cheese one. And that's crazy because I like pepper jack cheese more than American cheese. But I understand that if we're talking about burgers, yeah, you can do cheddar and all that kind of stuff, but there's no cheese that pairs better with a burger than American cheese. Like it don't have that same kind of like milky, creamy type of like element that it brings to the burger, like American cheese does. So still good though. I'll tell you one thing, those burgers ain't dry. So when I was making them in the broiler, since the heat element's on top, you know the heat is gonna attack the top of the food. So when you flip it in the bottom, look all pink and sad. Like, oh no! So I had to let that go. And then once that happened, it really started to shrink. But I wanted to make sure it was done. So I'm just glad that it cooked it through, even though it shrunk a lot, but it still has the juicy integrity. Probably should put more barbecue sauce on these. As a kid, when it came to burgers, I used to be obsessed with the combination of ketchup and mayo on a burger, especially when they're kind of like mixed together and stuff. It was so good. But as an adult, I like ketchup less than I did before, and I like barbecue sauce mixed with mayo better because barbecue sauce, depending on what kind you got, but overall barbecue sauce is not as sweet as like ketchup. It's all really ketchup really brings. It's like a sweet kind of like flavor, whereas barbecue sauce has like a smoky element to it. For anybody who's a fan of basketball, keep up with it, knowledgeable enough of it or whatever, please tell me that I'm not the only one who just wishes that LeBron James would retire already. He should have retired 10 years ago, right? Like, I'm not gonna act like I was like ever the biggest most well-versed basketball fan. I'm not, right? I would say I'm more of like a casual, right? But even with that being said, I know what's up. I know that LeBron had the easy role for most of his career. He was playing on weak ass East. He hopped teams to go join with other like top 10 players and stuff. And still mostly loses than wins. He ain't got no bag. Nobody's wearing LeBrons. He let Stephen Curry win basically as many rings as him, and it's supposed to be his era, right? Like, be for real here, right? I know some people, they'll try to run to Kobe and talk about Tim Duncan, but only people who would say that Stephen Curry is better than LeBron is people who just don't like LeBron and they just glaze Curry, right? I feel like there's more of a reasonable response to people who say Tim Duncan was better than Kobe. I don't think so personally. Obviously, Kobe was my favorite player. The only player I can definitively say that I strongly feel was better than Kobe was Michael Jordan, the GOAT, obviously. But it can be debated in terms of anybody else. Now, as far as Tim Duncan is concerned, Tim Duncan is definitely easily the best power forward ever to play the game, and he's phenomenal. And he did it in a very fundamental, boring style of play with his team and Greg Popovich and stuff. Because he was so good, he played at a high level for most of his career and did what he did, it's reasonable to say, right? But before people ever even cared to even know who Stephen Curry was, people knew about LeBron. People was glazing LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So for LeBron to come up short to the point where Curry could get to as many rings as him is crazy to me. But y'all still don't want to say that Jordan's the GOAT, but Jordan wasn't letting nobody win when he was playing. When it was his time to win, he was winning. Nobody else was winning, period. And you got to think about it. When the Rockets won, Jordan was gone. He was on baseball. So, but time flies and he's still playing in the league. He's not winning no more championships. And even if he did, he's cheating to win, right? He's clearly on something. Or it could be heavily applied that he's on something. Because I don't care who you are. At 40, 41, 42 years old, you're not doing all that stuff, right? But even then, it's not like he's playing a whole game like Miami Heat Braun or early Cleveland Braun, right? He's not playing defense. It's always on like fast breaks and stuff and transitions. It's always 4-on-5. Why? Because LeBron punk has to be in the back just sitting there chewing on his nails and stuff. And I think I found somebody who possibly flops just as bad, if not worse, than LeBron. Shea Alexander, or whatever his name is. One of my friends showed me a little video compilation of Shea flopping. That's got to be some of the most sissy stuff I've ever seen in my life. And I say sissy because I can't say what I want to say, right? I want to say the P word, but just gotta admit, man, the league is trash now. As a casual, if I'm saying it, then the hardcores have to understand it, right? Like if you just have like some kind of deep personal kind of like attachment to basketball and you don't want to let it go, no matter how trash it gets, then that's just a whole nother discussion. But if you can step back and look at it for what it's become and realize that's not even close to the peak years of basketball, which is the 80s, 90s, and the 2000s. But I'm sick of LeBron. Been sick of him. Can I admit that he's great? Yes. But he's not in my top five. And don't get me started on Durant, right? I actually like Durant, but I'm sick of his ass too. But then he don't know what side he want to play on. If he want to glaze LeBron, he don't want to glaze LeBron. I got time for that. Because the sad reality about Kevin Durant is that I feel like he would have not ever won a single title if he would have never went to the Warriors. I don't care how good you can score and stuff like that. If you can't lead your team to the biggest stage and make it to the finals and go out on a war in terms of playing your heart and your soul out and possibly win, even if he would have just won his whole career, that still solidifies him. But no, he wanted to take the easy road like LeBron. And you see where that got him. He won two? He won two with the Warriors or three? Either way it go. Trash. Trash. But LeBron need to pack it up because he's just playing for stats. That's all he's doing is padding his numbers. He can't contribute nothing else to the game, right? I'll say, as somebody who's not a fan of LeBron, the last bit of greatness that LeBron gave to the sport was when he was still in Cleveland, his second time. I'm going to admit it. And after that, should just pack his bags. But no, he got to do LeBron. Got to go jump teams and stuff like that. Then he won a title that shouldn't even exist because based on where we were at in the world at that time, should have just let that be. Even if you would have still had like a season to play or whatever the case may be, you just don't finish it off with the playoffs, right? But y'all decided to still do the playoffs anyway, even though there was no kind of real soul or energy behind it because there was no crowd. And people want to get mad when you say you don't count that. And they love to say, oh, well, if it was Kobe or somebody else or Curry or somebody else, y'all would have counted it. No. Stupid people, yeah, but somebody like me, people who kind of think like me, no, we wouldn't have counted it. It doesn't matter. Y'all tried it. Is there some people who hate LeBron so much that they count any little thing against him? Yes. I'm just saying, no matter who it was, Michael Jordan could have came back from retirement. He could have played and won the ring. It wouldn't, well, let's be real, nah, that would have counted. He came back from retirement, he old as hell, knees, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? But in any other circumstances, any other player like a Kobe, if Kobe was still playing, or Durant, whoever, it wouldn't have counted. That first burger was the best. I now understand 100%. American cheese for the win. For a burger. But yeah, I'm about to let this video be too much longer. So yeah, it's gonna be it for this video. I love y'all and appreciate y'all. Until next time, peace out.